Tension erupted inside the Kansas City Chiefs camp when a heated confrontation between two key players escalated into a full physical altercation during practice. What began as a verbal disagreement quickly spiraled out of control, drawing in teammates and coaches in an effort to separate the two. Reports suggest the fight was more intense than any in recent memory, leaving both players visibly emotional. The situation immediately drew the attention of league officials, as footage of the altercation leaked online, sparking widespread criticism. For a franchise built on discipline, teamwork, and unity, the moment represented a jarring contrast to its championship image. The Chiefs' management moved swiftly to contain the situation, but the damage had already been done. Internal sources confirmed that the NFL was monitoring the incident closely, with penalties likely to follow. What seemed like a routine day at training camp had suddenly become a public relations nightmare, one capable of disrupting the Chiefs' momentum and challenging the culture that has long defined their success. The origins of the altercation trace back to rising tensions during the team's recent scrimmages. Competitive energy had been building for weeks as players fought for roster positions and recognition. According to insiders, a dispute over a missed play triggered the verbal exchange that would later explode into violence. The two players involved, both respected starters, had clashed previously during high-pressure moments, but this time, the frustration reached a breaking point. Witnesses described an exchange of heated words, followed by physical contact that quickly drew the attention of teammates. Coaches attempted to intervene, but the emotional intensity proved too strong to contain immediately. This confrontation was not simply about a single play. It reflected deeper frustrations brewing within the team amid high expectations and relentless pressure to maintain dominance. As tensions subsided, silence filled the field. What remained was the realization that this incident would have lasting consequences, both internally and across the broader NFL community. The Chiefs' cohesion had been tested like never before. When the fight ended, the atmosphere inside the Chiefs' locker room was tense and divided. Players returned in silence, some visibly frustrated, others deeply disappointed. Leadership figures within the team quickly stepped forward to de-escalate emotions and encourage accountability. Reports indicate that Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce were instrumental in restoring calm, urging teammates to remember the values that define the organization. Despite their efforts, the confrontation left an undeniable mark on team morale. Coaches held a closed-door meeting, addressing the players directly about professionalism and unity. Head coach Andy Reid emphasized responsibility, reminding the group that the standard of excellence they uphold extends beyond game day. Though the situation began as a spontaneous outburst, its emotional aftermath revealed underlying stress points that the organization could no longer ignore. Trust, once the foundation of the Chiefs' locker room, now faced a critical test. The team's ability to recover would depend on honesty, leadership, and a shared commitment to repair what had been fractured. News of the altercation spread rapidly across media platforms, prompting an immediate response from the NFL. League officials opened an investigation into the incident, citing concerns over conduct, sportsmanship, and player safety. The NFL's disciplinary committee began reviewing video evidence while interviewing witnesses to assess whether the altercation violated league policies. Within days, sources confirmed that the Chiefs could face financial penalties, suspension risks, or mandatory behavioral reviews. The league's swift involvement underscored the seriousness of the situation. For Kansas City, a franchise known for its discipline and structure, such scrutiny was rare and unwelcome. The organization cooperated fully, hoping transparency would mitigate potential sanctions. Still, the prospect of penalties loomed large, threatening to overshadow the team's early season preparation. The NFL's intervention sent a clear message: no player, regardless of stature, stands above the league's code of conduct. For the Chiefs, it became a moment of reckoning, forcing them to balance accountability with the pursuit of stability amid growing external pressure. The NFL concluded its investigation with a decisive outcome. The Kansas City Chiefs were handed a serious penalty, The team received a substantial fine for failing to maintain control during practice, while both players involved faced individual disciplinary measures. One was suspended for conduct detrimental to the team, while the other received a formal warning and mandatory counseling sessions. Additionally, the organization was ordered to conduct internal conflict management training for all players. The penalty not only carried financial weight, but also reputational consequences. The NFL cited the Chiefs as an example to reinforce league standards regarding professionalism and accountability. Though some viewed the decision as harsh, it reflected the league's commitment to maintaining decorum across all teams. For Kansas City, the punishment was a sobering reminder of how swiftly internal matters can become public crises. The franchise now had to demonstrate resilience, proving that lessons learned from this moment could strengthen, rather than divide, their path forward. The news of the Chiefs' penalty ignited intense media coverage across sports networks and social platforms. Analysts debated the fairness of the league's decision, while fans voiced mixed emotions. Some expressed disappointment, believing the punishment tarnished the team's image, while others praised the organization's accountability. Sports commentators dissected every angle of the story, speculating about deeper locker room issues and the possible impact on team chemistry. The incident became a trending topic, with headlines portraying it as both scandal and wake-up call. Public figures and former players weighed in, emphasizing the importance of leadership during adversity. The Chiefs' management released a brief, measured statement reaffirming their respect for the NFL's ruling and their intent to move forward responsibly. Despite attempts to shift attention back to football, the controversy dominated headlines for days. The situation revealed how quickly perception can shape a narrative in modern sports, where image and integrity often carry as much weight as performance on the field. Inside the organization, the real challenge lay in rebuilding unity. The fight and subsequent penalty had disrupted the trust and focus that once defined the Chiefs' identity. Coaches increased team-building sessions, while captains worked to restore a sense of camaraderie. Players were encouraged to speak openly, addressing underlying tensions rather than avoiding them. Despite early discomfort, these discussions proved necessary for healing. The suspended player's absence tested both leadership and adaptability, forcing others to step up. Patrick Mahomes' steady presence became crucial, providing reassurance that the team's ambitions remained intact. Behind the scenes, Andy Reid emphasized accountability over blame, urging his roster to channel frustration into discipline. Gradually, the team began to rebuild its rhythm, recognizing that unity forged through adversity often proves stronger than before. The incident, once a source of embarrassment, evolved into a defining test of character. How the Chiefs responded internally would ultimately determine whether this setback became a turning point or a lasting scar. Leadership. Within, the Kansas City Chiefs faced its greatest test since their rise to dominance. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and coach Andy Reid were thrust into the spotlight not for their achievements, but for how they managed crisis. Each played a pivotal role in restoring balance. Mahomes led with calm authority, setting the tone through focus and example. Kelce, respected by younger players, emphasized accountability and unity. Coach Reid, known for his steady demeanor, navigated media scrutiny while maintaining discipline without dividing his locker room. Their collective leadership turned uncertainty into a structured recovery process. Meetings grew more purposeful, communication clearer, and training more cohesive. Instead of ignoring the tension, they addressed it, transforming individual mistakes into shared lessons. The organization's handling of adversity became a statement of maturity. Under pressure, the Chiefs' leaders proved that true greatness is measured not only in victories but in resilience. Their ability to guide the team through turbulence reinforced why Kansas City remains one of football's most respected franchises. With the penalties enforced and tensions easing, the Chiefs redirected their focus toward the season ahead. The fight that once threatened their stability now served as motivation to restore their reputation. Players recommitted to discipline, understanding that unity would determine the team's future success. Coaches restructured practice routines to emphasize communication, ensuring that competitiveness never crossed into conflict again. The media narrative gradually shifted from controversy to redemption as the Chiefs showcased renewed determination on the field. The suspended player's eventual return became a moment of closure, symbolizing accountability and growth. Teammates welcomed him back, not with hesitation, but with mutual respect, born from shared struggle. What had begun as a divisive incident evolved into a reminder of the values that sustain great teams: respect, control, and collective purpose. The Chiefs' resilience under scrutiny reaffirmed their identity as a franchise built not only on talent, but on the strength to overcome internal adversity with unity and professionalism. The Kansas City Chiefs emerged from the ordeal transformed. The penalty, though severe, became a catalyst for renewal. It forced the organization to confront hidden tensions and rebuild its foundation with greater clarity. The fight that once embarrassed the franchise ultimately strengthened its core. Leadership, accountability, and communication replaced frustration and pride. The players learned that success demands more than skill; it requires emotional discipline and respect for one another. The incident will remain a footnote in the team's history, but its lessons will endure for longer. It revealed that even championship-caliber organizations are vulnerable when unity falters. Yet, it also demonstrated how resilience and humility can turn turmoil into triumph. The Chiefs, once shaken by controversy, emerged more cohesive and mature. Their recovery became a testament to the character that defines true greatness in professional sports. From conflict came clarity, and from punishment came progress, the kind of growth that ensures the Kansas City Chiefs remain a force, both on and off the field.